Inside the most mysterious hotels in the world, guests never came back. Not every hotel is built for comfort. Some were built on darker foundations, soaked in tragedy, secrecy, and in some cases, pure terror. Across the world, there are hotels so disturbing, so shrouded in legend, that guests who dared to check in either fled before sunrise or never came back at all. These places don't advertise their real history. You won't find it in brochures, but locals whisper their names, and investigators have spent years trying to explain what happens inside their walls. From rooms that seem to breathe to floors that vanish, these aren't ghost stories. They're real hotels with real guests and deeply chilling events. In this video, we'll travel into the most mysterious hotels in the world, each one linked to disappearances, deaths, or horrifying tales that remain unsolved to this day. The Cecil Hotel, Los Angeles, USA. Few hotels carry a reputation as dark as the Cecil Hotel. Built in the 1920s in downtown Los Angeles, it was meant to be a luxury hotspot, but by the mid-20th century, it had already become a magnet for tragedy. Multiple suicides, murders, and unexplained deaths occurred inside its rooms. The most chilling case was the death of Elisa Lam in 2013. Surveillance footage showed her acting strangely in the hotel elevator, seemingly interacting with someone invisible. Days later, her body was found in a rooftop water tank, despite locked access and no evidence of how she got there. Over the decades, the Cecil has been linked to serial killers like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, who lived there during his spree. Guests have often complained of whispers, cold spots, and a constant sense of being watched. Despite renovations and rebranding, the building remains a place where many check in, but few stay the night. Hōshi Ryokan, Japan. Nestled in Ishikawa Prefecture, the Hōshi Ryokan is one of the oldest hotels in the world, dating back to 718 AD. On the surface, it's a serene traditional inn with peaceful gardens and historic architecture. But behind the calm lies a centuries-old tale of spirits, unbroken traditions, and mysterious disappearances. According to legend, the hotel is protected by a mountain spirit. Every generation of innkeepers has reported strange dreams and encounters with beings they can't explain. Over the last 100 years, several visitors have vanished without a trace, often after requesting to stay in specific rooms said to be closer to the spirit. The management never publicly discusses these events, but local folklore has preserved every chilling detail. Some guests report waking up unable to breathe or speak, while others claim to have seen old figures silently observing them from corners of the room. Karosta Prison Hotel, Latvia. This hotel was once a military prison for the Soviet Navy, and now it invites brave guests to sleep in actual prison cells. But Karosta Prison Hotel isn't just a themed experience. It's been called one of the most haunted locations in Europe, with multiple documented reports of violent spiritual activity. Built in the early 20th century, the prison has seen thousands of deaths, especially during World War II and the Soviet regime. Visitors today can pay to be prisoners for a night, locked in cells, shouted at by actors, and fed meager rations. But many guests have fled mid-stay after hearing screams, dragging chains, and cell doors slamming shut without anyone there. Several claim to have been physically touched or scratched by unseen forces. Paranormal investigators have captured disturbing audio, while former guards refuse to even enter the basement corridors where dozens of executions took place. Hotel Monte Vista, Flagstaff, Arizona. Located in the heart of historic Route 66, Hotel Monte Vista has been open since 1927 and once hosted celebrities like John Wayne and Humphrey Bogart. But beneath the Hollywood glamour, the hotel holds a long legacy of gruesome and unexplained events. Room 306 is reportedly haunted by the spirit of a bellboy who knocks on the door in the middle of the night and then vanishes. In another room, a long-term boarder who died in bed is said to whisper to guests while they sleep. Staff frequently report seeing ghostly figures in mirrors, cold air pockets, and TVs turning on and off. One of the most disturbing legends involves a pair of women who were reportedly thrown from a third-story window in the 1940s. Since then, several guests have said they feel pushed or watched when near that room. Despite these tales, the hotel still operates and still has rooms no guest ever wants to book twice. The Langham Hotel, London, UK, built in 1865. The Langham is one of London's most prestigious hotels, but also one of its most haunted. Over the decades, it has hosted royalty, presidents, and authors like Oscar Wilde, but guests and employees alike have reported terrifying supernatural encounters that defy logic. The most notorious room is room 333, where guests have described a man in Victorian evening wear who appears at night with glowing eyes and vanishes into walls. Other guests have claimed to see a German prince who jumped to his death from a window still wandering the hallways. One journalist who stayed at the Langham described waking up to find a spectral figure floating above the bed, arms outstretched, radiating cold. The hotel has never denied the reports. In fact, it embraces the legends. Despite the luxury, some visitors say the energy in certain suites is so heavy, they check out within hours. Diplomat Hotel, Baguio City, Philippines. Once a retreat for friars in the early 20th century, the Diplomat Hotel became a hospital during World War II. It was there that mass executions and beheadings took place at the hands of Japanese forces. The site was later converted into a hotel, but guests didn't stay for long. Abandoned for years, it's now a tourist site known for paranormal activity. People report hearing wailing voices, screams of women and children, and disembodied prayers echoing through the halls. Headless apparitions, flickering lights, and furniture that moves on its own are common experiences. Locals refuse to go near the building at night, and security guards only patrol in pairs. Even during daylight, the structure carries a cold, pressing presence, a reminder of the unspeakable violence that took place behind its stone walls. Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, Canada. This stunning castle-like hotel in the Rocky Mountains is one of Canada's most beautiful and most haunted. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel is known for its breathtaking scenery and five-star service, but guests have reported encounters with ghostly figures in bridal gowns, disappearing bellhops, and blood-curdling screams in empty rooms. One room, no longer listed publicly, is said to be cursed. A family was reportedly murdered inside, and cleaning staff refused to enter it alone. The Ghost Bride is the hotel's most famous spirit, a woman who fell to her death on the marble staircase in the 1920s. Guests still report seeing her dancing alone in the ballroom, her dress glowing in the dark. Though the hotel embraces its haunted reputation during Halloween, many of its staff quietly acknowledge that some areas are just better left undisturbed. Grand Hyatt Hotel, Taipei, Taiwan. What looks like a luxurious five-star hotel in the heart of Taiwan hides a deeply disturbing past. The Grand Hyatt Taipei is rumored to have been built over a former prison camp and execution ground during the Japanese occupation. Even today, locals believe the land is cursed. Over the years, guests have reported cold winds in locked rooms, televisions turning on by themselves, and invisible figures walking through hallways. Some international performers have refused to stay there after feeling intense pressure in their chest at night. It's said that the hotel had to bring in Taoist priests to perform exorcisms during its early years due to staff complaints of constant spiritual disturbances. Though the management has never confirmed the stories, travelers still speak of waking up paralyzed, seeing figures standing at the edge of the bed, or hearing whispering voices that stop when lights are turned on. Not every stay ends with the checkout. Hotels are meant to offer rest, luxury, and comfort, but for some, they become gateways to something much darker. These mysterious hotels aren't just haunted, they're historical sites of fear, trauma, and unexplainable events. From unsolved deaths to rooms no one dares enter, each of these places reminds us that not everything behind a locked door is safe, or even human. If you found this journey through the world's eeriest hotels gripping, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And the next time you check into a hotel, ask yourself, are you really alone in that room?